Well, that's the problem, right?
Yeah,
So I'll
yeah,
try
yeah,
and
yeah,
put the global perspective back on it.
yeah, yeah.
The fact that baseball wants to have a team in Las Vegas is smart. Of course. It's not about that, right?
Yeah.
If we were talking right now and nothing was going on with Oakland and they were owned by a normal, non-poisonous human being with no soul, and then suddenly in the news it popped up, hey, there's two new teams that are going to be in Major League Baseball. It's Nashville and Vegas. We'd be like, cool, that's fun. They're going to have a team there. The problem here is not even just that this situation's happening in Oakland and he is moving it to Las Vegas and he is doing that with a purpose and kicking everyone in the face as he's doing it. It's not just that. It's that we have the worst steward in the sport by far taking a product to a place that is tough to impress. Las Vegas is a complicated market. They can withstand and they can support an MLB team, but can they stand an owner like that? Can they support a team that operates in this way? They're not suddenly going to wake up and change, right? People change. This process is not going to change well enough that it's going to look like a successful project in Las Vegas. The only way that looks good is if Fisher eventually does this and the franchise value went up and he didn't have to pay a relocation fee, which blows my mind, but he ends up doing all of this and then he sells the team. If he does that and someone else takes over and they do a great job with it, then Las Vegas is in better shape, right? But that's my point is, okay, like let's take a step back for a moment. We have the worst face of the entire sport and one of the worst sports owners of all time who doesn't know baseball, who is hated by all fans, who has caused absolute uproar in one city, who everybody knows about, no matter which team you root for. He is the guy that is going to introduce one of the entertainment capitals of the world to baseball. That is such a joke. You can insert a million analogies, right? For, it makes no sense for bringing someone like this to actually try and spark baseball fever in Las Vegas. That's one thought. The other thought I wanted to drop in there was from the Northeast side of growing up, we don't view cities the same way. Maybe I'm wrong on this, but growing up in New Jersey, you have some teams in New Jersey and then you have some teams in New York. Things blend a lot, if that makes sense. I feel like there's a little bit more of a territory situation, right? Like, yeah, we're Oakland, we're not San Francisco. I get that, right? Like there's, especially in New York, like you might live in Queens, you're a Mets fan, you're in the Bronx, you're a Yankees fan generally. But like if you live in New Jersey, are you a Yankees fan or a Mets fan? You don't have a team in New Jersey. And that's okay. Nobody in New Jersey is like, we need our own team. They're like, no, we drive to the Bronx or to Queens and we go to games there. So it's a little bit different. I guess the Nets connection, like I brought up earlier, that just felt different. And for some, if the Nets moved to Manhattan, maybe it would be different. I don't know. I mean, I have a place now in Brooklyn, so I love Brooklyn. I'm in the Bushwick area half the year. So it's interesting though. I don't know. I feel like the connection in the Northeast is different from the connection out West. Like, I don't know how fans would feel if suddenly they had a team that was moving somewhere else that was a little bit further away, but still wasn't like a place that they're disconnected to, right? Like if you're a Jets or a Giants fan, they're called the New York Jets and the New York Giants. They are in solid New Jersey. Yeah. And everyone's like, whatever. They're called that because of marketing, I'm sure. And you can be a Jets or a Giants fan living in New York or New Jersey or even parts of Pennsylvania if you're not an Eagles or a Steelers fan, right? Like depending on how close you are. If those two teams suddenly moved to somewhere that's an hour away, from there, like in Central Jersey or, somewhere else that was kind of irrelevant, I think people would just be like, oh, well. So it's just different. That's why I'm always curious to get the perspective from you guys, because obviously I just want Howard Terminal, makes all the sense in the world, know all about that, purposely, quiet quitting against that for years. But I like to get the perspective, like, is this a consolation prize at all? Or are we like totally out?
Yeah. Yeah, I've come to I used to think it was totally out, but now I'm kind of coming across to it. And it's like, if you really love them, it's 90 minutes up the road. It's not too bad. So,
right. It's not a flight.
Yeah.